Hello everybody, and thank you for coming back to the channel. And this is going to be a nice chapter, I think, because there's going to be some visual progress. So what I've been doing so far, I've taken all the structures that I have and I've painted them with the mix of water and glue. The idea is that the wood sucks in the water and the glue, and then it strengthens it. And then another thing that I've been doing, I've been building up these struts, or these jigs, and these are supposed to be 3/4 of an inch high, which is like 19 millimeters. So I've been trying to use the waste wood, all the remains that I have to build them up, to not waste any more wood. And now the most fascinating part is that I have to take the wing and I have to, I'm going to marry it somehow to the fuselage. I have to somehow put it in here, and I've got here marked the position of the trailing edge according to the plan, and I've got to glue it then to the frame. So it's going to be trailing edge, rear spar, forward spar, and leading edge, and it all has to glue somehow in there perfectly. So if I just present it in here, I hope I can make it without breaking anything. There, it's going to go somehow like this. And what I have to make sure is that it's, first of all, that it reaches down to the base, and that it has the right angle. So the angle is going to be marked, or the incidence is going to be marked by the trailing edge position and the leading edge position. So I've got to figure out exactly how it's going to be. I've also got the ruler, because I have to make sure that it's as straight as possible, so that it's not crooked, right? Like if this is crooked, then the whole thing will fly crooked and will look crooked. So this is an important step, so I have to take my time to make sure that I can glue it in place, and then with some glue and these pegs, then I'll fix it in place, and that will actually give it already the shape. So that's going to be a key part. And then once I have that done, I can continue to build up the under fuselage with the stringers. There are some challenges coming up that I'm still not sure how I'm going to cover, which is the position for the rear peg for the motor. I think it's going to go here. It's former number H, or letter H, and then also the landing gear, which I believe is going to go somewhere here, which I have to figure out also how I'm going to put that in place. But anyhow, as I say, it's an interesting part because it starts to take shape, and critical parts, but a lot of visual progress. So let's see how it goes, and follow me along on this one. So I've been keeping myself busy with the P47. Let me update you a little bit. One thing that I've done, I've taken again the rudder assembly and the elevator assembly, and I've changed the hinges. I did find a mask, as Cliff was pointing out, that had a metal strip, and this is kind of, I don't know if it can be seen, it's quite soft metal, and it keeps the shape once it's bent. So I built in some blocks into the elevators and into the rudder, so that I can actually then move it up and down and it'll stay there. The blocks are a little bit bigger than I would like them to be, but on the other hand, I'm going to need to have some leverage once it's flying and I'm trying to trim it out. So it's maybe not bad that they are so big and that I can actually hold it through the tissue without breaking the tissue. So that was quite a bit of work, but I think now I'm happy with the outcome there, so I can actually leave this aside until the final assembly and tissue covering. Then what else have I been doing? Yes, I've been putting the stringers. One thing that I did run across, and you're not going to see it anymore, or maybe a little bit here, I have a knot in the wood, and this is something that I didn't notice in the shop. So when I was cutting these very thin strips, actually they broke off, so I had to do new ones and things. So just a lesson learned for myself is to watch out for knots in the wood. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but in this case I should have probably tried to do it on maybe another part of the wood so that it doesn't break. No big harm, but a lesson learned, which is good. And I've been putting in the stringers, as I was saying, so those are holding on. I'm using these pliers to hold it down into shape, so let's see if it dries well. I've put in the main landing gear, more for fun than anything else, nothing else. But more importantly, I have made the tail wheel. Again, similar approach with wood. I've put in the sequins. You can't see it because it's too far away, but there are the two little sequins, same as here. This is Cliff's idea, and this is a tail wheel that in the P47 it was retractable, so this is something that I can pull out. So I'll just leave it in there kind of for show, but then when I ever go and fly, then I'll take it out. And maybe one more comment also, because Richard and Cliff, they were pointing out that it might be good to make a removable wing. I was giving it some thought and I came to the conclusion that I'm not sure how to do it, so I'm going to go ahead with gluing it. So I did glue the winging fixed, but for sure there is value in considering how to make the wing that is removable somehow. But I didn't come to a clear idea on that, so I've glued it, and let's hope that with the first crashes or any of the crashes it holds out. Another consideration that I'm giving, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet or not, is that, as I was mentioning, I have the vertical peg position for the rubber motor, and it's a bit inconvenient in the terms that when I put it up onto the stooge to try to wind it up, then I have to build a new stooge basically, because it's a completely different approach. I'm not sure, and I'm thinking of, I probably will actually create make it a horizontal one, so I have to put it in somewhere. I believe it's going to go through here, so I might be maybe there actually, so I might be doing also some things there, but I think I still have time for that, because then eventually I'll turn the whole thing on the other side and I'll have access from the top, which is good. So let's see how it goes. Anyhow, I think that's it for the moment for the update. I hope to finish the stringers and have it kind of completed, and then I'll take it off the plan and it will stand on its 3 wheels without the top half, which is going to be a funny view, but I hope I can show you this still, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, let's see. And here we have it. I've put in all the stringers that I want to put in, at least for the moment, and I'm going to take away the weights. I do have the feeling the glue is still a bit wet, so I'm going to be careful, but I'm somehow impatient to take it out, see what it looks like, show you, edit this, and then post it also. And let's see if I take all these out. There's still one pin in there that let's see, how do I get rid of that one? And okay, so it's loose here. Okay, got it. And it's got the landing gear, as you can see, hopefully, tail wheel and the main landing gear, and this is kind of the way it will sit. So let's see if I can maybe move you a little bit. I don't want to show you too much of my mess, but there it is. Not very visible, but it's standing on its own wheels, rear landing gear also, and it's just missing now the upper part of the fuselage and the nose block. The nose block, that's going to be a huge problem, I think, but it seems to be coming along. And wait, let's see if I can do this. Too many things on the table. There, also with the tail assembly sitting on it, not stuck, so it's starting to look like a plane, isn't it? So I'm somehow gradually regretting not building it as an RC, because I think as a rubber powered it will be limited in its flight. RC might have been good. On the other hand, I still don't know how to do all the installation with the brushed motors and DSCs and things like that, or the brushless motors actually, and I don't think I can fly them either, but I think it's starting to look its part already. So in any case, I'll edit this, I'll post it so you see it, and next step will probably be fuselage. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about what are the next steps. But anyhow, thank you everybody for watching, for following along, and for all your comments. Really appreciate it.